Namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayet nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati nityam bhagavata sevaya bhakti uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati nashtiki Guruve Gauri Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha Namaha Pankaja Nabhaya Namaha Pankaja Maline Namaha Pankaja Netraya Namaste Pankajangriye Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namo Kinchana Vittaya Nivritta Gunavrittaye Atmaramaye Shantaya Kevalye Pataye Namaha Hare Krishna. So dear worshipable devotees, thank you for joining. We were reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 21. So quick pop quiz. What does Canto 8, what subject it talks about out of the 10 subjects? We just spoke about 5 minutes now. Manvantara, yes. It talks about other subjects as well, but primarily it's Manvantara. These are the 14 Manu periods we discussed in the previous cantos. Gajendra pastime also happened in this. And then Bali Maharaj, Samudra Manthan Leela, main 3 pastimes. So Ganga Mata, mixture of 3. Anyone remembers what are those 3? The combination of 3 waters, 3 elements, 3 things. The liquid form of Lord Narayana.
That is the Vamanadeva's wash feet, liquid form of Narayana. And yes, when the Lord Vamanadev pays the covering universe, like on the casual ocean, that enter into the universe in the form of Ganges.
Thank you. Very nice.
That's the mixture of the all this.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji. We say it's a causal cause, like how cause is there? Causal ocean. So causal ocean's water, and then Brahma's Kamandalu. So Brahmaji did Abhishek, Brahmaji along with other, that the water coming from there, and the Narayana in liquid form. When Lord Narayan comes in the stone form, what is that? Anyone?
Shaligram, Prabhuji.
Shaligram, very nice. When Lord Narayan comes in the mountain form,
Govardhana.
Govardhan, very nice. When Lord Narayan comes in the deity form,
Archa Vigraha.
Archa Vigraha or deities. When Lord Narayan comes in the human form, yes, he is the Supreme Lord actually. It's the Guru. The Lord descending in human form is the spiritual master. Right? We have discussed that. Vande Guru Nisha Bhaktan Ishan Ishavatarakan Tat Prakasham Tat Shakti Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Sangyakam. So, very nice. That means one should not consider Guru as an ordinary human. He is a representative of the Supreme Lord, Narayan, Kṛṣṇa. Okay, now we'll move on to next, text number 5. Yes, Lakshay, Prabhu, I've raised your hand from a long time. It must be paining, so I'll let you relax.
Yes, Prabhuji. Brahmadyo Nataya Samadrita Sanugra Balim Ajar Hiruha Hiru Sanks Iptatam Vibhute. Translation and purpose. Lord Vamana called the predominating deities of the various planetary systems began to worship Lord Vamanadev, the Supreme Master, who had reduced himself from his all-pervading form to his original form. They collected all the ingredients and paraphernalia for this work. Vamanadeva first expanded himself to the universal form and then reduced himself to the original Vamana Rupa. Thus he acted exactly like Lord Kṛṣṇa, who at the request of Arjuna first showed his universal form and later resumed his original form as Kṛṣṇa. The Lord can assume any form he likes, but his original form is that of Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa to Bhagavan Swayam. According to the capacity of his devotee, the Lord assumes various forms so that the devotee can handle him. This is his causeless mercy. When Lord Vamanadeva resumed his original form, Lord Brahma and his associates collected various paraphernalia for worship with which to please him. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, Lord is the master of all masters, the master of all siddhis, anima, mahima, lagima. He can become bigger than the biggest and become smaller than the smallest, right? So now the Lord has become small again. He was small originally, the dwarf form, Vamana, Batu form, and he became very, very big. And Gangaji descended, we discussed that. And now he again became small. But now everyone knows that he is not just a small Brahmana boy. He is the cause of all causes. He's Swayam Bhagavan. Krishna is to Bhagavan Swayam. It's so interesting, as if, Krishna has a divine arrangement. Whatever we're reading in Chaitanya Charitamrita, we're connecting it here. We just read about Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam over there. And so Lord now, it's a very important point here. The Lord, can we imagine this? Lord assumes the form so that the devotee can handle him. Isn't it beautiful? That means the Lord is bound by the love of his devotee. Tota Gopinath deity, worshipped by Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit had a hard time to, the standing deity form. He couldn't get up because he was old. The deity sat down, Tota Gopinath, so that the devotee could easily garland him. Right? The famous Radha Raman deities. The devotee had a desire. Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami had a desire to put the clothes and ornaments and different paraphernalia to the deity, but you cannot dress Shaligram like you can dress Gaurnitai or Radha Krishna deity. So here some wealthy merchant gave him some clothes and ornaments, etc. He said, well, how will I dress Shaligram? In his heart he was meditating, and then next to the Shaligram turned into the beautiful Radharaman form. The Lord assumes various forms so that the devotee can handle him. Such a deep line to meditate. That means who is more powerful, the Lord or his devotee?
His devotee.
His devotee. Yesterday also we discussed this beautiful story. When Lord touched that pond which was full of bloody water, nothing happened. But when the dust of the devotee's feet, Shabri's lotus feet, touched that pond, the pond turned into pure water. So Krishna says, I am bound by my devotee. Bhaktya, and this will come later also in the Amrish Maharaj story. that I'm sold to my devotee. Sorry, I can't do anything. So very, very powerful. The Lord is willing to be bound by that love, that of his pure devotees. So everyone gathered different paraphernalia to worship the Lord, to please him. Very, very important. Arti or getting paraphernalia is not a display of art. It is to please. It is not how we move, it is not a display of art to see, oh, he moves this arti incense very nicely, or she moves the arti incense very nicely, in perfect circles. It is to please him. That's the goal of everything. Whatever paraphernalia we offer, whatever bhoga we offer, why do we offer? To please the Lord with love and devotion. So everyone gathered articles to offer. Let's see what happens. Yes, Lakshmi Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna all devotees. Text 6 and 7. Toye samarhane shakbir divya kandanulepane dubir dibir surabibir laja akshata pala anukure stavaner jaya shabdaischa tad virya mahiman kitai Nityavaditra Gitaischa Shanka Dundubi Nikshvani. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. They worship the Lord by offering fragrant flowers, water, padya and arghya, sandalwood pulp and aguru pulp, incense, lamps, fused rice, unbroken grains, fruits, roots, and sprouts. While so doing, they offered prayers indicating the glorious activities of the Lord and shouted Jaya Jaya. They also danced, played instruments, sang, sounded conches, and beat kettle drums, in this way worshipping the Lord. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So we see all the demigods, including Brahma, are offering these articles to Lord Vamanadev, who has come back to his original size now. And that's what pretty much is done in all ISKCON temples, and all the devotees are encouraged to do this at their homes as well. Maybe not that elaborate, but with simple incense, flowers, bhoga, and some scent. Agru is basically like scent. So there are 16 articles of worship called Shodashupchar Puja, 10 articles, 5 articles. All these articles have one article in common, and that is bhakti. Without the bhakti, all the articles will just remain an article. But with the bhakti, the article will become a source of pleasure for the Lord. Whether it is bhoga, whether it is flowers, incense, and chandan, and lamp, and anything, fan, arghya, water, padya, sandalwood paste, all these must be offered with love and devotion. Fruits and dry fruits, and we should also say Jai Jai. Anytime the darshan opens, the first thing we say, Shri Shri Radha Shyam Sundar Bhagwan ki Jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki Jai, Shri Shri Krishna Balaram ki Jai, Jai Jai. We should keep saying it. And pretty much we say all the artis, all the kirtans, what we do, chanting, dancing. So this is not that Prabhupada or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu kind of invented something new. This is what's going on. Like, this is the real Sanatan Dharma, right? Of course, every yoga has something, like the chief dharma, Kali Yuga, especially in Kali Yuga, chanting and dancing, is the dharma. Chant Hare Krishna mantra, dance with enthusiasm, and keep saying Jaya Jaya. Any other comments anyone has? Okay. Sampada, Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna. Text 8. Jambavan Riksha Rajastu Pheri Sabder Manojava Vijayam Dikshu Sarvasu Mahotsavam Aghosaya. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jambavan, king of the bears, also joined in the ceremony, sounding his bugle in all directions. He declared a great festival of for Lord Vamanadev's victory. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, back to you.
Hare Krishna. Jambavan, the rich Raj has come. The powerful. He is not an ordinary bear, which some people think. He's very, very great devotee. And he is, sounding these bugles in all directions, so you can imagine the kind of power he has. It is not mentioned here, but it's mentioned in the Ramayana that he circumambulated the Lord 21 times in his big form, not the small form. He was very, very powerful, very, very powerful. He fought with Kṛṣṇa for 18 days in the Jambavan Gufa. So, in the festival, we play conch, we play sound. So, see, Bhagavatam is teaching us everything. So rather than playing mundane Hollywood, Bollywood music, we should play transcendental sounds on any festival, birthdays, anniversaries, appearance, disappearance, days, etc. Transcendental sound vibration, and spread it in all directions also. First one's own udhar, then the neighbor's paropkar also. The neighbor should feel it. Jambavan is showing that you should share in all directions. Okay. Yes, Nandini Mataji, you want to read next verse?
Okay, thank you, Prabhu Dandavat. Mahim sarvam krita drishtva tripadavraja yachaya uchuhu swabhatur dikshitasya marshitaha. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. When the demoniac followers of Maharaja Bali saw that their master, who had been determined in performing sacrifice, had lost all his possessions to Vamandeva, who had taken them away on the plea of begging 3 paces of land, they were very angry and spoke as follows. So this demoniac followers, now they're angry, and because when you lose something, of course, this is how you feel angry and cheated, and the whole thing is because of attachment, asakti. Back to you, Prabhu. Dhanyavad.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, let's see what did they say in anger. Yes, Aparna, Mataji, and then after that, Krishna Prabhu can read. Prakriti, Aparna, Mataji, you want to read? You have your hand up for
Text 10. Hare Krishna.
Yes, please.
Navayam Brahma Pandhur Vishnur Maya Vinambara Dvaja Rupa Parita Chano Deva Karyam Si Kirsati. Translation. This Vamana is certainly not a Brahmana, but the best of cheaters. Lord Vishnu, assuming the form of a Brahmana, he has covered his own form and thus he is working for the interest of the demigods.
Thank you so much for this wonderful verse. In Bhagavad Gita also, there's a very nice verse which says the same point here, which I'm going to open for our
Chalaya chalayata asmi. He's the cheater among the cheaters among the gamblers.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. In 10.36, Dyutam chalayatam asmi. Dyuta means gambling. Chala means cheaters. So if we try to cheat Krishna or trick Krishna, he'll cheat us. And that's exactly same we are reading here. That these people are saying, well, you are not a Brahmana. You are not acting like a Brahmana. You said you'll only take 3 paces of land. Well, in one way, he don't take only 3 paces. He's only taken 2 paces of land. So, but he did increase his size. So, very interesting. So, in one way, it is a glorification also. So, because all the land was covered in the 2 paces or 2 steps of Lord Vamanadev, and he's working for the interest of demigods, which is true. Indrari vyakulam loki mridayanti yuge yuge paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. So in one way, what they're saying out of anger is actually true. Yes, Krishna Prabhu, want to read?
Okay. Anena yachamanena shruvatu rupina sarvasvam no ritam bhratur nat nyastadan dasya barhasi. Translation. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Our Lord Bali Maharaj, because of his position in performing the yajna, has given up the power to punish. Taking advantage of this, our eternal enemy, Vishnu, dressed in the form as brahmachari beggar, has taken away all his possessions. Thank you, Prabhupada.
Thank you, Krishna Prabhu. Very nice. You know that verse in the Dashavatara Stotra for Vamanadev? I think you know. Chala yasi.
Okay. Chala yasi vikramane balima Vamana. I don't know, probably.
Okay, who knows? Who remembered this verse? Who will raise your hand if you know?
Rama wants to say.
Okay, Rama, you tell.
Chala yasi vikramane bale Vamana.
You forgot? I don't know. Sorry.
Payo, what's that? Payo?
Padanaka.
Padanaka
Nirajanita.
Keshavadita Vamana Rupa Jaya Jagadishare.
Thank you. They forgot. It has been a while.
No, it's good. At least they remember half of it or most of it. Well, for our purification, let's try to remember this. Chalayasi. Chala means cheating. Chalayasi vikramani. Vikrama, or the great activities. Oh, Rukrama, Vikrama. Balim Adbhuta Vamana. Adbhut means astonishing, amazing. In this form of amazing Vamanadev, dwarf Vamanadev, he Chala. We just read. He is the Chaliya. Krishna tricks. Vamanadev tricked Bali Maharaj. Padanaka Nira. Pada Nakha. Lotus feet. Nakha means nail. Nakhun. So the nail touched the covering of the universe and came the Ganges. Nira, water. Janita Janapavana, for the purification of the three worlds. Padanakha Nira Janita Janapavana Keshavadhrita Vamana Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. So that's the wonderful, that's what we are reading here. That he basically came as a beggar. Now he has taken away all the positions that the cheating he did. So the followers are not so happy because now their company is bankrupt, right? Imagine they're the employees. If the owner of the company goes bankrupt, a selfish employee would certainly be angry. So was Shukracharya, right? Pretty much the same principle. That means we can also say that they also didn't have love of Godhead, right? Because if they would have love of Godhead, they would have supported, like Vindhyavali, the wife of Vaman, sorry, yes, Bali Maharaj. One last verse. Anyone wants to read text 12? Who hasn't got chance yet today?
I can read Prabhu.
Yes, please.
Text 12. Satyavratasya satatam dikshitasya visheshatah nanurutram bhashyatum shakyam brahmanasya dayavata. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Our Lord Bali Maharaja is always fixed in truthfulness, and this is especially so at present, since he has been initiated into performing a sacrifice. He is always kind and merciful towards the Brahmanas, and he cannot at any time speak lies. So these people, demonic mentality people like Shukracharya and those, his gang actually, they are not happy. Whatever happened, they are realizing that how the Vamanadeva has been cheated, our most beloved Lord Bali Maharaj. So that is their realization is going on at this stage, that our Lord is very truthfulness and he is very merciful towards the Brahmana, and how this Vamanadeva has been cheated. So that's the realization they are right now going through. Thank you, Prabhu. Back to you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. They were very, very angry. It's an important point. And in anger, one loses the sense of right and wrong. Right? Dhyayate Vishyan Pancha Sanghasteshu Pajayate Sangha Sanjayate Kama Kama Krodho Vijayate Krodhat Bhavati Sammoha Sammoha Smriti Vibrama Smriti Brahmashad Buddhi Nasho. Buddhi ka nash ho jata hai. That means one loses the sense of right or wrong. One loses a sense of who is right, who is wrong. So just one's rationale goes away. So that's what we see here. There's a lesson in this pastime. In this, we can take that in anger, one just one can even blame the Supreme Lord, and one will find good in those who are attached, or one may be attached to, and those he may not be attached to. One will always see wrong, even if there is none. And even these people are taking sides of Bali and blaming Vamanadev out of their anger, because in anger one loses the sense of discretion, or in greed also. These things blind us. Too much anger, too much greed, too much desires. They just blind us, and one cannot make good choices. The words coming out of the mouth are also not good. So better we should kind of try to avoid any, and that's a big sign of actually emotional intelligence. Nowadays also in companies also they are teaching emotional intelligence. How many of you have heard the word, this term, emotional intelligence? All of you have heard, at least somewhere in your conversations. Can anyone like to tell what is emotional intelligence? What is emotional intelligence?
You speak empathetically, compassionately, understanding others, not information, but understanding others' emotions. And
Nice, very nice. Anyone else?
Prabhuji, I can guess that it can be like if any employee faces any failure or any criticisms, maybe it healthy or unhealthy, then how to handle those things emotionally. Maybe that is what emotional intelligence is considered to.
Mm-hmm. Nice, very nice. All these points are very true. And actually, I've been reading this book based on the suggestions of my manager. So I'll just share some points. It has basically two elements which are divided into two further elements. One is one's ability to understand one's own self. Quite spiritual, right? That means when I'm getting too angry, when I am losing a sense of my emotions, when I am not in my true state, understanding that or being aware of that. So there is one self piece and then there is the social piece. It could be in workplace, it could be in any setting. There are two pieces, self and the community or social. So understanding one's own emotions. Oh, I'm too happy now. Oh, I should no, I should be aware that I'm too happy or I'm too angry now, and not reacting to those moments. Or like if someone said harsh word to us, a person with less emotional intelligence would tit for tat. But so that's the self piece. Of course, there are a lot of details, and then the social piece is to understand that the other person, what the other person is going through. That the person is saying something, but they don't really mean it. Hanuman had this in great. If I was watching Ramayana for the last many days, and Hanuman shows this in every exchange of his. He is expert in everything. So understanding the whether it's the monkey army or it's whomever we are talking to, whomever we are dealing with, it could be our family, it could be our employees, it could be our workplace, it could be our friends, it could be our god brothers, it could be other devotees, neighbors. So any understanding the environment and then dealing accordingly. So this is just a very high level definition. There are a lot of details to it, but just to break down the self piece and the social piece. So understanding the emotions one is going through and understanding the emotions what others is going through, and then appropriately dealing with those. Very important. So I really like that point to share, and it's very helpful in spiritual settings also. Okay, a little overtime here. Any other last closing comments or questions? Grantraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purana ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so much.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Prabhuji.